What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. Big shout out to my doggy, Martin Skirsis, for coming through and boosting up the coins. So, we got a leak for you, man. Who ain't no one seen before. The corner work from Team Fury and Team Usyk. Let's get straight to it. I ain't even watched it yet, I can't lie to you. You'll get the audio. I'll talk the audio to you because obviously this cat's speaking Ukrainian. Usyk's trainer said, let me see if you're probably about to see it, but essentially Usyk's trainer said, breathe, he is just testing you. I wonder why they haven't given us the round that he's in. I'm guessing it must be around the 5th. I thought Fury did well in the 5th and 6th. Probably the 5th. Either way, it was around there. There was points, and that's when I took my bet off. When I saw Fury starting to do well, I thought, oh, this little rabbit's fucked. I did it happened in the first fight as well, to be fair. Exact same rounds. I got cucked, man. I got cucked. That's what happened there. So Usyk responds. So the guy said, his trainer said, he is testing you. And Usyk pulls a face and goes, is he? So he must have felt still in control. Fair play to him. And this really goes to show Usyk in this day and age is the pinnacle by miles. Yeah. I'm talking the last 20 plus years. There's been no athlete like Usyk. Vlad wasn't a Usyk. Vlad was cacking his pants in there half the time. Cacking his pants. Scared to death in there. If he wasn't, he'd have stuck it on Tyson Fury. What's Fury doing, man? At that point in time as well, Fury couldn't punch for toffee. He couldn't stop Chisora. He couldn't stop Chisora even after going to the Kronk. But the point is, Vlad was scared to death. It wasn't like Tyson Fury had wilder power and he was a big old oaf who can whack. He was just, Fury on the back foot just slapping his backhand out. Get in there, Vlad. It's irritating. I did a video on it the other day. Vlad's sitting there like, just choking in there, scared to death. So, stop talking about Vlad. Oh, Vlad, what? Some corny on TalkSport. Oh, Vlad had the belts for 10 years. 10 years doing what, though? Stinkers. And you lost the first half decent. Fury isn't Hall of Fame. He'll go in the Hall of Fame because it's all owned now by corny people. But in reality, there's one Hall of Famer in the last 20 years in the heavyweight division. And his name is Alexander Usyk. That's the God's honest truth, people. There's one, and it's Alexander Usyk. AJ's not in the Hall of Fame. What, for beating Pulev? This era is like the leftovers from the Klitschko era. Povetkin, Pulev, and Klitschko don't make it either. Yeah, these guys, Klitschko fought one athlete in his career. A one half decent dude, and that was Tyson Fury. And he's scared to death. Vlad fought one man his own size, and he was scared to death and he lost. Now, I think Klitschko might have come back harder in the rematch. Not the point, though. That really sums the fact Tyson Fury could go in there and faint you to death and slap you with the back of his glove to death. And your Vlad's pulling back and scared to throw. That's not a Hall of Fame boxer, people. The Hall of Fame for me isn't so much about, oh, you clinged on to belts in the weakest era of all time. There needs to be a said standard for the Hall of Fame. The said standard is, do you hit the criteria or not? That makes sense. You could have a belt for 60 years, for example. If all you've done is fight complete stiffs who weren't no good, you ain't in the Hall of Fame. I don't get, oh, I've been champion for a century. And? I'd rather someone be a champion for like a year or two and take back-to-back killers. Like Usyk, for example. Now again, it's not Usyk's fault, but he has been he's a bit like, and again, Usyk's era is better than Vlad's was. People like AJ could at least whack and was massive. Povetkin couldn't whack like that. Dillian White punched him up. Dillian White's no good. Dillian White's no good, man. Pulev's no good. Those are more or less the biggest names on. I guess Vlad did fight Big Toe Hey. Big Toe Hey. Big Toe Hey. It's getting in it's starting to bug me, man. My back's itching. It's irritating talking about Big Toe. What did Big Toe Hey do at heavyweight? Valuev, the stiffest and slowest man ever to be known, ever to walk this earth in the boxing game. What was his name again? I forgot his name already. That stiff one. Big Stiff. Nefanderall, Nephilim looking ass. You know what I'm talking about. I think I said his name a second ago. That's the one David Hay beat. What did he do? We don't know. We don't know what they did. So forget about Vlad. Vlad's era was the weakest for sure. This era's better. And we know that because Fury beat Vlad. 38 isn't 48. 38 isn't 42. 38 is a pretty solid age. Usyk's 38, for example. And it's not like Vlad had a really hearty career where he was like Holyfield at 38 where he's washed up. Vlad had an easy career, really. Let's call a spade a spade. He didn't have no hard fights. Name me a hard fight Vlad was in past the early 2000s. There wasn't one. He had a good... At 38, Vlad was disciplined in the gym. It was easy work for him. So, this era is better than Klitschko's era. Hence, Usyk's, even though they're still bums, if that makes sense, they're not old school. All the people Vlad fought weren't old school. Fury, AJ, not old school either. This is documented. Fury's a big old oaf and had the chance to go in there and have a go with Usyk twice. He bottled it. Can't be old school. Can't be Hall of Fame in my book. Can't make it there. You can't make it there, people. Fury said, these are his own words, "Oh, I'll go out on my back." Oops. We'll never know now. I'm not saying it would have necessarily meant he won the fight. I can guarantee though, if Fury had that mentality of going out on his back, winning or out on his back, it couldn't have gone worse for him than losing. You'd lost anyway, right? The worst case, but at the best case, by going out on your back, you increase the probability of you actually winning. When you go in there faffing and scared, it's a bit like how... It's a cycle here. Fury's... He ended up being just like Vlad, essentially. Scared to death. To get in out and get stuck in. Scared to death. And the very things he criticised Vlad about. The very things he criticised David Hay about. How he said David Hay cacked it and wanted to lose on points. Oops. Fury cacked it and was happy to lose on points. Fact. Twice. Same as AJ, to be fair. The individuals, and it's not even like fair enough yet. If you're in there with Martin, Imard, Congolese, Diamond Minder, Bakoli, I can understand why you don't. Who wants to be there with a big 280-pound dude that's rocking and rolling and winging free shots, putting free shots together at heavyweight? Who wants to do that? Look at Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson, yeah. Fury was rating him, saying he's next after sparring with him. So he wasn't no punk. He wasn't no slouch. He wasn't no slouch at all. Jared Anderson's in there. Good power, we assume. Knocking all these bums over. He gets in there with Bakoli, and Jared Anderson, to be fair, he fought harder, given what he was up against. As much as people laugh about Jared Anderson, given what he was up against that night, Jared Anderson fought harder than Fury did, and than AJ did against Usyk. Bottom line, people. Anderson was in there. It was like he was having a bad dream, though. He couldn't do nothing, but he was having a go in there. He was trying to be dangerous. He was really putting his hands in there, having a go. Even though he'd been knocked down for the first time in his career. Fury didn't fight like Jared Anderson did. AJ didn't fight like Jared Anderson did. They both stood there like, ooh, looking like Vlad versus Fury in the first fight, or in the fight they had. That's how it looked. It sucked. Both of them sucked. So both of them, forget about the Hall of Fame. I don't care what belts you held. I don't care what bums you fought. You can't make the Hall of Fame just by essentially winning. Oh, YB, AJ makes the Hall of Fame because he won. It doesn't almost. Winning a few fights against undermatched opponents. We find out what you got in you when you fight someone your own level. You aren't even your own size. Like, it's not like we're asking for something really hard here. We're asking you to fight a very good small man. Get in there, you big oaf. Yeah, get in there and have a go. You might lose. I'd have people, if Fury and AJ had got in there, had a proper go and got stopped by Usyk, I'd argue, listen man, we can now take the positive part or the winning part of their career seriously, because we know they had it in them. We don't know that. You can't look at one fight, name me one fight in AJ's career where you can say he had a good go. He lost. He either won, beat everyone up, or he lost. In embarrassing fashion. He lost against Ruiz in embarrassing fashion and then cacked his pants in the rematch. That's not a Hall of Fame mentality, man. It's not. I'm sorry. It's not a Hall of Fame mentality. Going in there and shitting yourself and changing your whole identity, that's low T. Fury, what's he done? The basketball player. That's all you got, man. You don't make the Hall of Fame by beating one basketball player, folks. You don't do that. What did Wilder do? It's not like Wilder was this champion who beat Vitali, for example, and got the WBC belt. What had he done? We don't know. Luis Ortiz, 60-year-old man. Fair play. Luis Ortiz did punch up Dave Allen. So Wilder can't be that bad as such. He can't. It's not Dave Allen level, clearly. He can punch more than Dave Allen can punch. That said, limited. Wilder gets in there with Parker, gets boxed up. He gets in there with Zhang, gets punched up. How seriously can we take Wilder? He probably would have got beat by that Parker, yeah? I reckon that Parker would have beat Wilder even in his prime. What would he have done? Just stood there. There was dudes like Spilker. Spilker boxed him up. And Parker's got a better chin and better quality than Spilker, so back then it would have happened. But Mains Devone was hanging in there with Wilder. He couldn't punch for toffee. You put Joe Parker now in there with Wilder in 2015 when he beat Mains Devone, Parker wins. In my opinion. Anyway, I've talked too much already. I ain't gonna lie to you, man. So Usyk's laughing now, saying Fury ain't really doing nothing. His trainer says, but don't relax.
Okay. Yeah, just keep it up tall. He's trying to wait for you to go down. You ain't giving it. Okay. Go down. You ain't. Oh, he's trying to wait for you to go down. Yeah, just keep it up tall. He's trying to wait for you to go down.
Keep it up tall. He's trying to wait for you to go down. I need to find the proper thing. Normally they put subtitles. That don't make no sense to me. Keep it up tall. He's waiting for you to go down. He's saying go to the head. I thought the whole strategy was to go to the body. Let's have a look here. Fury versus Usyk corner. They've done subtitles for the... Oh wow, they've got 14 minutes of it here. 14 minutes of corner audio. Wow, it must be damn near every corner. I ain't got time to listen to these ads, man. I ain't gonna lie to you.
You ain't giving it.
When you punch with your left, make sure you move your head out of the way. Usyk's pretty good at that. He'll paw, and then dip to the right and bang the left hand straight down. I've never really seen him be countered. Well, Fury definitely didn't do it. In fact, I can't think of many people who managed to counter him off that. Round 2. So this is round 2, people. So Fury comes out aggressive, and the guy's saying, Usyk's trainer's no, he's getting you, or something like that. That's a bit weird. I don't know why he was saying that. I thought it was later on, like round 5 or 6, assuming it was round 2. Now it was a long ending. There was a long pause. He's starting to pull you in. I've got no idea. These subtitles, man. I've got no idea. This is just talking pure gibberish to me. I've got no idea what they're saying. Understand, that's why be careful. More compared to the first fight, Fury was more dominant. He was holding his feet more. And to be fair, Usyk was... This is part of ring geography. And this is what I was saying earlier, yesterday maybe, about... Boxing's one of the few sports where you can directly impact your opponent. In the first fight, Fury was just running back to the rope. So Usyk came in with a boner in that fight. I don't care what no one says. The first fight was clearly wider in reality than the second fight. If any fight had to be a split decision, it was the second one, by definition. So, the fact Fury held his feet a bit more, Usyk actually had to come out and box. He wasn't all over Fury like the first fight. The first fight, Usyk said, and the second fight, I'm not going to leave you alone. If you watch the second fight back, Usyk was actually much more cautious. He was doing more of a... He wasn't completely on the back foot like he was with Chisora, but that proves my point. There's a reason Usyk was spark on the back foot, because Chisora's big ass put him there. So this show, and this is why, listen, Usyk for sure is a Hall of Famer. But in terms of the greatest of all time, it's not his fault, yeah. But I see something there. I see something there, man. I see something there. AJ Fury and Chisora have all shown something. They haven't been able to sustain it. Maybe Usyk's that good. I tend to believe these are new age pussies, to be quite frank. Soft. Bottom line. You put Prime Evander Holyfield in there with Prime Usyk. Are you joking? Are you joking? It'd go straight on him. It goes straight on him. You think Chisora, you think you went life and death with Chisora, you put Prime Holyfield in there with him. He'll be straight on him. Then all that faffing that looks good in the new age that Usyk does. You're not seeing the shots Holyfield took, no problem. With old school heavyweights and them little tiny gloves. All that thing Usyk does that gets all these new age guys shitting themselves, Holyfield will be straight on him, working him up and down. You wouldn't believe what he'd do to him. Honestly. He wouldn't be able to run fast enough. He'd be all over him. I don't believe he'd respect it. That's what I don't believe. And the judges back then, a lot of the work Usyk does, they wouldn't get scored back then. They wouldn't score it. It's all like, it's better than, he's obviously winning these fights, but you have to watch it. Watch the old school man, the way they throw punches. It's crazy. They got bad intentions on every one. So a lot of the work Usyk does looks good when you got a bunch of pussies. You put him in there with Prime Holyfield, the judges are going to say, this guy ain't doing nothing. That's the truth. I've watched enough to know. They're not going to sit there saying, oh, that was a big shot. It's a big shot when you got Tyson Fury standing there, reacting and like, oh, bent out of shape. Holyfield will be leaning in, yeah? He'll get hit clean, obviously, but it's just going to bounce off. It's not going to be a big, oh, Holyfield stump. I don't care what no one says. There's no way Usyk hits Holyfield with a shot, yeah? And Holyfield's pulling back and stumbling like a big oaf. No way. I've seen him get hit way too many times. Not just Holyfield, but a lot of the old school man, even lesser dudes. It wasn't a big, I've been hit and now I need to make a big scene about it. Same as AJ. AJ gets bopped with something. A jab or whatever, he goes, takes a deep breath. He's not, you know what I mean? The old school man weren't doing that, man. They had kind of pride. They weren't trying to let their opponent know that they're sweet on the inside. And there was an eagerness to get back. You got me, you're getting it kind of thing. Not feral, but there was it was understood. You get hit with a good shot, you're looking to come back. You don't go, oh no, it's all unravelling for me, it's all over now. Bert Cooper put down Holyfield first. Or something like that, for sure. Holyfield won the fight in the end by stoppage, but that fight, Holyfield gets put down, he gets up and wins the fight by stoppage. Yeah? I don't believe there's no way Usyk hits any of these old... Usyk can't hit these new age soft heavyweights with no chin. Right, let's call a spade. Usyk can't hit. Fury's got no chin. AJ's got no chin. He can't even hurt them man who are soft and ready to go. Let's call a spade here. AJ's ready to be knocked out, man. Right, he can't wait to get knocked out. Same as Fury. These guys are ready to go. The way they fight shows, they're choking. They're ready to be knocked out on any second. Usyk hit him clean a whole bunch of times. Couldn't do nothing. So I'm telling you now, yeah, you put Usyk in there with any of them man from the 90s and the 80s. Them shots, never mind knock him out. They're just going to bounce off. And the refs won't even score it because it do nothing. Yeah. I've seen, again, what's that cat's name? Usyk in his prime as such versus the cruiserweight dude. The one who fought Joe Pataya. Bradis, that's it. Bradis ain't no Holyfield, man. He's not no heavyweight Holyfield. That's what he's not. And you saw what happened there. Yeah, I think Usyk won the fight. I don't think it was as close as people make out. But if Bradis, who ain't no Holyfield, can do that to Usyk, Holyfield will be all over him. All over him. He gets stopped to the body. And that's another thing. The new age guys don't throw no body shots like that. They don't throw no body. They don't dig into the body. They don't proper gather go at the body. It's like, ooh. I don't know what it is, man. I don't know what it is. Listen, I like Usyk, but there's levels to this. He's a Hall of Famer for sure, but he's not a greatest of all time. It looks good. It's not his fault, but the resume, they're useless. Usyk, I'll give him credit. He does have an old school mentality. That's what all we're seeing here. He's not actually that good, in my opinion. He's that good because he's got an old school mentality. Solid skills. Small, solid skills. Old school mentality. In there with a bunch of big, useless, overpaid, overhyped bums Mainly from Britain, and tell like the Alabama bummer basketball player as well. That's the truth here. You got one Hall of Famer in the whole heavyweight division at the top at least, or the hype top, and the rest are just pumped up bums. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the God's honest truth, people. They're useless. Seriously, they ain't got the heart in them. They're not fight. They haven't got the fighting heart like that. They haven't. I'm sorry, they have not. Nothing to do. I think AJ and Fury are probably good people in their own lives. They're not the pinnacle of the fight game. No, they're not. They're too soft. Too soft, and it shows that. They keep losing on points. It don't make no sense. They didn't have a go like that. Not even have a go. Have a go then. Have a little bit of a go at least. Just clinging on and looking silly and your wheels falling off down the back straight. Fucking hell.
Начинается оттягивать на тебя. Alright, yeah, keep positioning. You got him going when you want him when you're backhand it. Just get the foot ready to go with the backhand.
I don't know what Sugar Hill's saying. Oh, this is a good bar here from Team Usyk though. His team say very good. Don't stagnate. Don't stagnate. He is afraid of toughness. Oops. Team Usyk hit the nail on the head. So forget RYB. You don't know boxing. Usyk's coach don't know boxing. I saw it. I know what I'm seeing. I don't need to be Muhammad Ahmad Ali, yeah, to know what I'm seeing here. Most of these new age men are scared to death of what they're supposed to be paid to do. God's honest truth. I get it. Obviously, it isn't easy. It's probably one of the combat sports, I'd say, the hardest sports in the world. But listen, that's the game you're in. That's what you're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars for. You've been well compensated, especially at that level. You've been well compensated for the risk you're taking. Get in there. Have a go. Bottom line. And really, if I was getting paid hundreds of millions, yeah, and my opponent's trainer can sit there and say he's afraid of toughness, I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. It's different. If you're not getting paid, yeah, it's like, I get it. Like, what am I risking things for? But when you're getting paid, I guess you could argue, well, YB, that's why motivation does wane. But I feel like you've got to have some character to say, either, number one, I'm paid now and I haven't got it anymore. I'll sit down. I'm not going to keep robbing the fans or just scamming the sport, bringing the sport into disrepute, having this little dude having a go on us all when we haven't really got it. Or you go in there like the old school man did, who made a bunch of money. And it's part of your identity, which is, by the way, what Fury sold. He sold us on, not a man born. There's not a man born since John L. Sullivan. And in a way, you're using them kind of names in vain, to tell the truth. You're trying to get something, attach yourself to the old school dudes. The old school dudes. To give yourself credence when you've never really shown that. Well, okay. He had one half decent fight against Wilder, who can't box, people. You can't box. He cannot. Joe Parker showed that. And that was the Wilder who was the same Wilder as before, because he knocked out Hellenius in one round. That very same Wilder fought Joe Parker 6 months later and got boxed up. So he wasn't finished by then. If he was finished, he'd have gone 10 rounds with Hellenius, right? That's what would have happened. It would have gone late, or he wouldn't have stopped him. It's not a coincidence. Wilder was the same person when he knocked Hellenius out in a round. 6 months later when he fought Joe Parker. The difference was, he wasn't in there with a complete useless, stiff. Hellenius is like, just oodling. Can't wait to get chinned. That's what, come on. Hellenius is leaky deaky, man. He's leaky deaky. He's leaky deaky. Look at AJ with Hellenius. AJ made a proper meal out of Hellenius, man. A proper meal out of it. So forget about the Hall of Fame. I don't ever want to hear AJ's name mentioned in the Hall of Fame talk, ever. How you can't. You can't be in the Hall of Fame and you're cacking your pants against Bumlenius, man. Choking for 6 rounds. Choking in there. And Pulev. That was like 10 rounds or whatever. Just choking. He choked in that fight. The whole way through. Scared to let his hands go, man. You can't be in the Hall of Fame, people. It's like saying, imagine Lewis Hamilton couldn't put his foot on the pedal. Right? Imagine every big race, Lewis Hamilton's foot just came off the pedal. You're not going to put him in the Hall of Fame, are you? Yeah? And if you can't throw your hands, Tyson Fury and AJ, you ain't in the Hall of Fame. It's boxing. Right? Oh, YB, Lewis Hamilton, he can't turn the steering wheel, but he's still in the Hall of Fame. That's ridiculous. That's what you're supposed to do. Turn the steering wheel, change the gears, and put your foot on the gas, man. Or if a racing driver bottles it into every corner, you can't be in the Hall of Fame. Because the old school man again, that man was crashing out and dying, burning up. Yeah? So it's a disrespect to them. It's a disrespect. People laugh at Holyfield, oh, he can't speak properly. Exactly. That's the point I'm making. Rightly or wrongly, he held the sport, and James Toney, they held the sport in higher regard than their own lives, and hence, you can't put these bum of the months in there with them. It's impossible. Ridiculous. But no, I'll give Fury and AJ their credit. There should be a bum of the month. A bum of the month. A bum of the month. I'm trying to think now. A bum of the month. Hype job. Fame. Hall of Fame. They'll be in there for sure. People who talk the talk and all pretty looking and you know what I mean, glittery. Oh, all the Instagram TikTokers essentially. Just make a TikToker division. And you put Ryan Garcia in there, you put Tyson Fury in there, and you put AJ in there. The king of TikTok boxing. That's what you be. That's the honest truth. You're not serious like that. You're not serious. And Usyk's trainer knew it already. He's soft. He don't want to fight. And I saw that already in the first fight. He's scared to death of Usyk, man. He's scared to death. Same as Vlad. Vlad was scared of toughness as well. He didn't want you putting it on him. He didn't even want you slapping you with a backhand like Fury did. You can't. I can't help you, man. If you think this is really good and Fury's really good and AJ's really good, it's a disrespect. Let's look at it that way. It's not so much they're useless. It's the fact that you, man, are taking away from real proper dudes by even talking about these, man. And I do it because I gotta get paid, but you get the point I'm making. If I'd take it, I'd rather be in the 90s now if YouTube was around, right? And talk about them, man, serious dudes. That's what I'd rather do, but here we are. Oh, look, he said then, he's doubled down. Usyk's trainer said he is afraid of toughness. You see, he is afraid of a tough fight. This is a violation, man. This is a violation. It's the truth, but it's a violation for a fighter. Lewis Hamilton is scared to go round a corner. Yeah, that's what he's saying. Lewis Hamilton's scared to put his foot on the pedal. Wow. Yeah. Cristiano, Aymar Ronaldo, scared to kick the ball. Michael Phelps is scared to get wet. This is the bars you're hearing from U16, man. Who else we got? What other sports can we talk about? LeBron Aymar James is scared to bounce a ball. Yeah? It's one of them ones, people. It really is one of them.
You gotta work on the time on the right foot.
Now, I will say again, I saw it. Fury's been scared for a while. When he was in there with Dillian White, the writing really was on the wall. That fight was a stinker. If you watch Dillian White fight back and take out the KO, the fight stunk. It was 7 rounds. Honestly, it was up there with Fury versus Vlad. To be honest, I think it's probably worse. It stunk. That Dillian White fight did. It was bad, and he saved it with a knockout. But the mentality was, he was choking against Dillian White. He was choking against Dillian. Got lucky. That was a lucky punch. I'm going to call it space, but he didn't earn that KO. And he's not a magician who just found it. He got lucky on that occasion. He didn't earn that. He wasn't actually showing phenomenal boxing skill. He was just backing up, using his length. And Dillian White's feet are so slow and his hands are so slow, he couldn't do what Usyk did. So he walked onto something. And his defense is leaky-deaky. Fury's been... He probably never had it, to be honest. I guess Cunningham fight. Cunningham. Imagine... Oh, the bell just gone, people. The bell's just gone. But listen, the Cunningham fight, yeah. That's Cunningham, man. Cruiserweight. And you went laughing deaf in that fight as well, tell the truth. Cruiserweight. Okay, let's give him, I'm being harsh. Okay. You did okay. You put it on Cunningham. Alright, that's your claim to fame. Wilder in the third fight. Again, okay. 2 half decent fights. against overrated opponents who'd done nothing at all in the game. That's your claim to fame. That's Tyson Fury's claim to fame. 2 half-decent fights against basically 2 basketball players, man. That's what it was in the end. These weren't... You talk about Lennox Lewis, Holyfield, James, Tony, and these guys fought. Holyfield fought Lennox Lewis, Tony, Mike Tyson. You can't... Wilder, who couldn't punch Bermain Stavern up in the first fight. You joking? Getting outboxed by Spilker. It's ridiculous. It really is ridiculous.
You gotta work on the timing on the right foot. Yeah. Right foot timing, that's all you need.
Right foot timing. Again, I'm not sure. You got to work on the timing of the right foot. So Usyk's going to be leading with his right foot. I don't know. Talking about the outside game, trying to get his foot on the out. I don't know. They must have worked on things in training, I guess, and it's code words or whatever. He didn't need, all due respect, Sugar Hill, and to be fair to Sugar Hill, the corner was much more organised, and the fight was better without all the noise. And ultimately, Fury, I don't care what no one says, Fury did do better in the second fight than the first fight, for sure. That said, it wasn't about foot position in here. Yeah? Fury did best when he was like this. Every time he went leaky deaky deaky, he was getting clipped everywhere. And he'd come in like this, yeah? Artur Imad Baturbiev versus Bivol. That's how the blueprint should have looked. Obviously, Bivol's a different fighter to Usyk, but we saw enough in AJ2 and Fury 2 versus Usyk. That's what you do. Chisora, you know, get on him.
There's the bell.
3 breaths.
That was your round.
Got it?
Okay.
Be sharper, Usyk's team said. He bites your movements, but you have to be sharper. And that is another thing after, again, I keep mentioning about the old school, but this whole feints business, I don't remember the old school man buying feints, really, to tell the truth. I don't remember that. I don't remember seeing a bunch of, like, if someone feinted, people are going to act. I don't remember seeing, maybe I haven't watched a whole bunch of old school fights, but I don't remember. When Hagler fought Hearns, I'm sure Hearns was giving it some moody Jippo feints. Hagler's coming right in there. I remember Hagler pausing and waiting and trying to be second. He's getting in there and doing that big stiff whoever from Detroit some proper arm. That's what he was doing. He wasn't interested in all that posturing rubbish. The new age, you look at top fighters like Joe Pataya and that, it's all like a big, let's bounce around on our toes and posture and feint. And it only works when you sit there cacking your pants. Same as Vlad and Fury. If you sit there, he might come and get me. If you're just on him, Chisora showed this. Usyk was doing all the moody feints and whatnot. Chisora just went straight in there, washed up Chisora. Just went straight in and got to work. Yeah? So Usyk's team's right. Fury was buying the feints. Whose fault's that? Yeah? Whose fault's that? If feints were that effective, Chisora would have just stood there and done nothing. It's a mentality thing. Get in there. Or Hagler would have stood there and got pieced up on the outside. You've got to get on this guy. You can't sit there boxing. Box him with the boxer. I don't care how small he is. Why would you, when you have all these advantages? We know. Well, that's not necessarily true. It's not. Traditionally, taller fighters are back foot boxers because they're fighting smaller men who are coming in. Usyk weren't really coming in like that. Usyk was boxing, especially in the second fight. And you allowed him to come in the first fight, to be fair. Yeah? Guess what? Usyk wasn't holding the centre of the ring and jumping in and pressing Chisora around the ring. Why not? Right? Why not? He was the one going from rope to rope to rope. And Chisora was crude. The principles of it were there. You have to bet on, as a heavyweight, 280 pounds, you have to bet on yourself. You have to say, listen, I'm walking him down. And he's getting this stiff jab with 5 inches of reach and 50 pounds in weight behind it. He's getting it. And if he hits me one back, good. I'm betting on me hitting him harder than he can hit me. And you say, oh, AB, that's not very smart. Well, all this smart rubbish I keep hearing about, oh, it's not smart, YB. How'd it work for you, man? How'd it work in all this smart rubbish? Because so far, we've had 3 big stiff UK bums, Dubois, AJ and Fury sit there boxing with the boxer. And we've had one dude washed to bits, crude as you like, Chisora. He's got the best loss. That fight legitimately could have been a draw. Chisora has the best loss against Usyk, fact. Out of 5 fights against premium heavyweights. 2 AJ, 2 Fury, 1 Dubois. Chisora's got the best one. Why is that? It wasn't down to Chisora's skill, was it, as such? Obviously, there's a skill to what Chisora does, but it wasn't. Chisora's not the most skillful. We know that, as documented. It was the fact he wanted to get at it. And he's not scared to death to have half a go. Yeah? That's the bottom line here. So any heavyweights, Daniel Dubois, I don't care what happens in the rematch. You go out on your back now. You get on him. I don't want to hear about, oh, his feints and rubbish like that. Get on him. And I think Danny D, if anyone's going to do it, it'll be Danny D at this point. Get on him. And go out on your back if you have to. You've been out on your back before anyway. It's not a big deal. Go out on your back, man. He can't keep the... I don't think Usyk can keep the pace if you're on him. Like Dubois was on Hrgovic. I don't think he'll be able to keep the pace. And even if he does keep the pace... Too much volume, too much heavy shots. Fury and AJ threw a few heavy shots, and Usyk, it was ebbing and flowing in certain rounds. It was ebbing and flowing. Dubois should be able to maintain for 12 rounds. All in your mind. It's all in your mind. Chisora did a half-decent job for 12 rounds, so why can't these 27-year-old dudes do it? With more power and more finesse and more boxing. Too much boxing, if you ask me. Too much boxing. Boxing's become a bit of a box. No, fight. How about that? Yeah, I'm tired of hearing about boxing. Fight now. That's what it's. Listen, if you go in there, and box and win, whatever. It's not ideal for me, but equally, if you're trying to box and it's not working, and you're 250 pounds bone dry lean, in there with someone 220 soft, you fight now. You fight down the back straight. You fight. Yeah, the boxing hasn't worked. Oops, it's time to fight now. That's the answer to that equation. I don't want to hear no more about, oh, well, I boxed and I hit him with a body shot and it didn't work, so I threw my toys out the pram. I'm not interested in hearing them bars from Dubois no more. Get in there now. Fight now. And in fact, don't even come in there trying to box with him. I don't think he will, to be fair to Dubois. He looks like he's changed up. I don't think he will, but I'm just saying, I don't want to hear about how he's tricky and his feints and that, because Chisora's walked right onto him. So it can be done. It can be done.
Как там вы чувствуете?
Отлично все. Все хорошо.
You just gotta keep it consistent.
Usyk said, I think it must be round 5. Everything's great, he said.
Pressure we've been working on.
Yeah, I am. Все хорошо.
You just gotta keep it consistent. Pressure we've been working on.
Yeah, I am, eller?
Yeah, just keep it.
So Fury was saying, or Sugar Hill saying, you got to keep the consistency of the punches we've been working on.
Hands up.
Sugar Hill also said, keep your hands up. So I feel bad for Sugar Hill. Well, Sugar Hill's a mercenary. He's getting paid. He's not going to hurt him. He's well paid now. And I think these fights... Fury got tired, obviously. And that's the only reason he wasn't keeping his hands up, I believe. It wasn't a tactical edge. He got punched up every time he dropped his hands. I don't know. And that's why I don't want to hear about this no more. Oh, IB, Fury's a phenomenal athlete, and it's nothing to do with the fact he's not training. He is training. He's just a dad bod. Oops. It turns out you can't be a dad bod anymore. Yeah? Usyk kept his hands up 12 rounds. Beterbiev kept his hands up 12 rounds. It's probably harder as a heavyweight. It can be done, I believe. And there's points in a fight. It's not like you have to stand in like a stiff tree for 3 minutes straight. There's points when you're out of range you can drop and have a rest. If that makes sense. Beterbiev doesn't walk around like this. When they're disengaged and whatnot, he'll drop them a little bit. That's the shtick. Anyway, it's not going to happen. There's not going to be a third fight. He's had 2 cracks now and he bottled both of them, so forget about it. But Sugar Hill, I don't know, was Fury... Clearly Fury was doing more orthodox work, more traditional guard work. Not enough, ultimately. Not enough. The camp should have been literally... I said it months ago. The camp needs to be your chin stuck to your chest and your hands are stuck to your head. We're doing that from the minute you get to the gym. No herky-jerky rubbish. You're coming right in, straight forward, in straight lines. You're coming straight in straight lines. I don't care about what they say about boxing. You're coming spark in there and having a go. How about that?
Just keep it.
Fuck all that angles rubbish. We're coming straight in and giving you a good hard fight. And if you beat me, fair play to you. Yeah? But you took some licks on the way there. No these heavyweight guys can say that at this point. Not one of them can sit there and say, you know what? This guy really beat me and I had left it every single bit out there. Not one of them can say that. They was all worried about, I'd rather... This is a bit hard now. In essentially rounds 8 onwards, in all of these cats' names, Dubois, AJ and Fury, in round 8 onwards, they all sat there and said, you know what? It's getting a bit hard now and I'd rather lose on points. Yeah, I'd rather clinch and just stink the place out and not fight. Anything but fight, essentially. Fury said in them last 4 rounds, I'd rather do anything but have a good go. And make it to the gates of Warriors Paradise. He didn't want to go there, man. He don't deserve to go there. That's the truth. He don't deserve to go there. That's what that means.
Your hands up. Round 6. You let him get that damn round.
And there's the belt.
He's trying to steal the rounds in the last 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
Let me know when it's last 30, yeah?
And there's the belt.
He's trying to steal the rounds in the last 30 seconds. 30 seconds.
He's trying to steal the rounds in the last 30 seconds. It weren't the last 30 seconds. Tyson was goosed. I think this is round 7. That's not the problem here. It wasn't the last. If you'd have given him a whooping, 2 minutes, right? It wasn't the last 30 seconds. You was doing nothing, and Usyk might have been doing 30 seconds. Well, that still means he won the round. He's not nicking it. You weren't piecing him up for 90% of the round. So, and Fury, to be fair to him, he's blowing. And this is what I've been saying for the longest time. All these so-called boxing heads, I've been saying for the longest time, there's no excuse for this guy to be in that shape. I don't believe it can ever help you. He's not punching any harder. So what is it doing then? You're not punching harder. So all you're doing is getting more gassed. He should be coming in 250. Tops. That's what I'd have him doing. Bone dry. Not bone dry, but obviously he's going to be more like Lennox Lewis. Lennox Lewis wasn't bone dry. A Lennox Lewis type shape. A little bit soft. But not just like, whoa. Not some big bird at Weight Watchers on a Thursday afternoon. Did you see that one there? Yeah, this is sport, man. There's a reason there ain't no big birds from... There's a reason there ain't no big Shirleys. There's a reason there ain't no big Shirleys from Thursday afternoons Weight Watchers at the pinnacle of sport, folks. And that is just the bottom line. Yeah? I don't care what... Oh, dad bod. Yeah, I'm the guy, dad bod. Well, you're not. It turns out you're not. You're just another bum now. Another bulbous bum. How many Brits do you think there are? Probably, I think I've heard that like 20% or 30% of the population are obese. You're just another one of them now. Another bare, overweight bum in the shower. And you got no one to blame but yourself because you thought it was funny. Cane in the beer, cane in the lager. I don't know what you're eating.
Let me know when it's last 30, yeah?
You only get caught pulling back.
Yeah.
This was a good bathroom thing from Trigger Hill. He told Fury, you're only getting caught when you're pulling back. Now, I guess the problem is people's innate instincts, they kick in when they're tired. When you're tired, you do what feels comfortable. And unfortunately, it's more comfortable to have your hands low and pull back than it is to have your hands up when you're knackered. That is the most... If you go to... I don't know. If you flinch at a child, they'll pull their head back and drop their hands. A trained man, look at Floyd, when he was rocked. You get closer to the target with your hands stuck to your head. Yeah? So, Fury hasn't... He was glazed as being this, he's a boxing, this, that, the other, his IQ. Turns out, whether he has IQ or not, he don't have the conditioning. You can know all you want. If you ain't got no gas left in your tank, it don't matter. Yeah? It don't matter. So it comes down to a training issue. Maybe Fury's just too big and too gangly. He can't get fit enough. I don't know. I don't know. Either way, Usyk was fit enough. How about that? He was fit enough, so he wins. Bottom line, if you can't get in shape for whatever reason, if you're genetically limited to get fit for 12 rounds of having your hand stuck on your head, that's what I knew. You ain't good enough, so you lost.
Get me second win now.
Stop backing the up.
Fury talked about having his second wind as well, which is interesting.
Second win now.
Stop backing the up.
Sugar Hill said stop backing up. So Sugar Hill's saying the right. We weren't there in camp. He definitely made improvements. He wasn't running from corner to corner like last time. It's hard though when you've been doing it 20 years. You have bad habits. Look at AJ. You have bad habits unless you've got someone, a drill sergeant, spark on you, telling you, listen. You see you big useless oaf from Morecambe. You stick your hands to your head for this whole training session. I don't want to see it. Listen. You drop them hands on top of your head. If I see your hairline, he ain't got a hairline, but if he had a hairline, if I see your hairline. If I see your gloves below your hairline, we're starting again. Oops. That's what we're doing. I don't care how much money you got. You need to be fit. So stick your hands on your head. Yeah? That's the kind of discipline you need to get these type of jobs done. He clearly can't do it with the whole, yeah, we'll do a bit of hands up and a bit of not hands up. It's better to be trained, to be here the whole time. You can always drop your hands, right? Dropping your hands isn't hard, if that makes sense. You don't have to train to drop your hands. This is the conditioning part. Leaning forward and having your hands on your head. That's what needs to be conditioned. You can't condition yourself for low leaky deaky guard. That's just there. Gravity will do that for you. Having your hands low is gravity. You don't have to train for that. Obviously there's a skill element to it, but as far as training goes, you want to train for the most tough situations, which will be keeping your hands up. That's why a lot of fighters don't do it, because it's hard to do.
Round, second win. Hands up tall, stand forward. You put in the work. Let's make it happen.
U16 pick up a good point here. They say
let's make it happen.
He can't protect himself with his left hand. I think both hands were dropping at that point. Both hands were markedly dropping. At the start of the fight, they were much higher. And as he got tired, they came lower. Both hands were leaky deaky at that point. It seems like there's something wrong with his jaw. He holds his hands like this all the time.
2 rounds, okay? Ain't no tomorrow, you hear me?
Yeah.
It's now. Fight too close.
No, it's a shame it cut off there. So Sugar Hill was basically giving him the right act. 2 rounds. There ain't no tomorrow.
Ain't no tomorrow, you hear me?
Yeah.
It's now. Fight too close.
Oh, I need to find that. Maybe I'll do a separate video. This one's gone on for long enough. But yeah, listen, you can bring off the water, you can't make it drink. You either want to fight to the bitter end or you don't. And it seems to be, it's not Fury's, well, it is Fury's fault, but it's a generational thing. Most of these guys are like that now. They don't want a tough fight. You heard Johnny Fisher. Oh, I want Fraser Clark and Fabio Wardley next. A fight ago, when he's knocking over the Cabbage Babbage. He has one half decent fight. It wasn't an absolute war. It wasn't like a proper pasting. And he's sitting there saying, "Oh, I don't know if I want hard fights like that anymore." Like, come on, bro. What the fuck's wrong with these guys? What did you think this game's about? Just knocking over bums. And I'm not saying it's easy, but come on. You never heard these old school man. Show me James Toney when he's coming out in his first hard fight or whatever. Nah, I don't really want no hard fights like that. You just don't. It's generational. And Fury didn't want it either. He's like Johnny Fisher essentially. He didn't really want a hard fight. Johnny Fisher had a harder fight than Fury did. To be fair, he had a harder fight than Fury did. And Fury still didn't want no more of it. Anyway, let me know your thoughts. Smash the like button, subscribe, like with the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it.